Success doesn't just happen. It's not luck. It's not talent alone. And it's definitely not something only a few people are born with. Success is built one day at a time by doing the right things on purpose. If you've ever felt like you're capable of more, like there's something holding you back that you can't quite name, or like you start strong but never finish, this is for you. Because the truth is, most people don't fail because they're not smart enough or skilled enough. They fail because they never learned the small daily actions that create long-term success. This video will break down those exact actions. No fluff, no vague ideas, just clear, simple, practical steps that actually move your life forward. If you've been waiting for the right time to get serious about your goals, it's now. If you've been tired of watching others grow while you stay stuck, that ends today. You're going to learn how successful people think, how they manage their time, how they control their habits, and how they take full responsibility for their future. And here's the best part. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just need to understand the keys and start using them. One by one. In this full series, we're walking through 20 powerful lessons, each one designed to help you grow stronger, think clearer, and act with purpose. These aren't just tips, they're tools. And if you use them, your life will change. Stick around, because this is not about theory, it's about real life. It's about building a version of yourself that you can be proud of. You're not here to stay average. You're here to succeed. And it starts now. Chapter 1. Take control of your day with clear purpose. Every morning you wake up, you are given a choice, whether you take control of the day or let the day control you. This choice defines how you live. It defines what you achieve. It defines whether your life drifts or drives forward. When you begin your day without clear purpose, you open the door to noise, confusion, and wasted time. When you begin your day with purpose, you move forward with clarity, discipline, and direction. The truth is, most people don't lack time, they lack intention. They live on autopilot, doing what feels urgent instead of what truly matters. And with each passing day, they lose pieces of themselves, buried under distractions, obligations, and habits they never chose consciously. The first and most powerful step to building a successful life is learning to take full control of your day. Not just once in a while, but every single day. Success does not happen in a year. It happens in the moments you manage with purpose, again and again. If you cannot control your day, you cannot control your life. Control doesn't mean becoming rigid or robotic. It means waking up with direction. It means knowing what you are building. It means eliminating what doesn't matter and pouring your energy into what does. People who achieve things, grow stronger, and live fully. They don't wait to feel motivated. They don't rely on a perfect mood or the right timing. They build systems that keep them grounded. They create a structure that supports their goals. They train their mind to do the essential work, especially when they don't feel like it. The first thing you must do is become intentional with how you wake up. If your day begins in a rush, with no plan, you've already handed over control. The early minutes of your day set the emotional tone. They shape how you think and behave in the hours that follow. That's why the moment you open your eyes, your mind must be clear. Instead of reaching for your phone or drifting into worry, you need to take control of your thoughts. Ask yourself one question: what do I need to do today to move forward? Not what's urgent, not what others expect. What matters to you? Define your direction before the world defines it for you. When you begin the day with that mindset, you begin to think for yourself. You stop reacting to the world and start shaping it. Clarity is not just a concept, it's a tool. When you write down exactly what you need to do, the mind calms, confusion fades, focus grows. Most people avoid this because they fear structure. They fear that planning will restrict them. But the opposite is true. Structure gives freedom. When you know what matters, you waste less time. You worry less. You do more. So begin each day by setting clear priorities. Not 10. Not even 5. 3. Choose 3 important actions that, if completed, will bring you closer to your long-term goals. Write them down, keep them visible, and work on them before anything else. If you finish those 3 things, your day is already a success, regardless of what distractions come later. One of the biggest traps people fall into is mistaking being busy for being productive. They fill their schedule with noise, meetings, errands, endless to-do lists. But when you ask them what they actually accomplished, they can't answer. This is what happens when you live without purpose. You work hard but get nowhere. It's like running in circles, exhausting but pointless. That's why having a daily purpose is not optional. It's necessary. You must ask yourself regularly, is what I'm doing right now aligned with where I want to be? If the answer is no, stop, shift, recalibrate. You are not here to simply fill time. You are here to live with depth. There's a reason most successful people guard their mornings with discipline. That's when their energy is highest. That's when their mind is most focused. That's when they make their most important decisions. So you must protect that time. Don't start your day with meaningless scrolling or checking notifications. That's a recipe for distraction and emotional chaos. Begin instead with something that strengthens you. Read something that sharpens your thinking. Move your body to awaken energy. Sit in silence and reflect. Then look at your top 3 priorities. Take action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be forward. The other half of taking control is learning to say no. If everything is important, nothing is. If you say yes to every request, message or task, you'll live on other people's terms. You'll be pulled in 10 directions and lose your own center. So develop the courage to say no to anything that doesn't serve your goals. That includes unnecessary meetings, mindless entertainment, gossip, and tasks that can be delegated. Saying no is not selfish. It's essential. It allows you to say yes to what truly matters. Also understand this. Your energy is not unlimited. If you waste it on things that don't matter, you will have nothing left for what does. So take inventory. Ask yourself, where is my energy going each day? Who or what is draining me? Then make the necessary changes. Protect your energy like you protect your health. Because the quality of your life depends on how you spend your energy. Now, there's one more truth you need to hear. Taking control of your day is not always exciting. It's not always glamorous. Sometimes it means doing the boring but necessary work. Sometimes it means facing tasks you'd rather avoid. But this is where growth happens. Discipline is not about feeling good. It's about doing good. And every time you show up with purpose, even when it's hard, you build strength. You train your mind to lead instead of follow. You become dependable to yourself, and that is the foundation of success. When you live this way consistently, something begins to change inside you. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop chasing quick results. You begin to think long-term. You begin to build real momentum. You feel more grounded, more clear, more in control, and people notice. They see your focus. They feel your direction, and they respect it. But more importantly, you respect yourself, because deep down, you know you are showing up for your life. This transformation does not require special talent. It does not require more time. It requires one thing: commitment, a daily commitment to start strong, to take charge of your time, to act with intention. And once you build that habit, it becomes your identity. You stop drifting, you start leading. You stop reacting, you start building. You stop hesitating, you start moving, one day at a time, one clear purpose at a time. To take control of your day means to live awake. It means to stop going through the motions. It means to ask better questions, make better choices, and focus on what truly moves your life forward. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Every morning you wake up, you have a chance to lead your life or follow the noise. Choose to lead, choose clarity, choose action. This is the first key to success, and it's in your hands right now. Chapter 2. Build discipline by doing hard things every day. Discipline is not something you are born with. It's something you earn through effort, struggle, and consistency. It doesn't appear overnight, and it doesn't stay with you unless you keep working for it. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it is built through repetition, through choice, through the refusal to quit when things get difficult. The people who live with discipline are not the ones who find life easy. They are the ones who choose to do what's hard when no one is watching. They are the ones who stop waiting to feel ready and start acting even when they don't want to. That's what separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck. Doing hard things every day is how discipline is trained. Not once a week, not only when you're motivated, every day. The reason this matters is because comfort is the enemy of progress. The moment you start avoiding discomfort, you begin sliding backward. It happens slowly, quietly, without you noticing. But soon your days are ruled by convenience, your goals are replaced by distractions, and your confidence starts to fade. This is why small daily acts of resistance matter so much. Every time you choose what's difficult instead of what's easy, you build inner strength. You remind yourself that you are not controlled by fear, by mood, or by habit. You are in control. And that belief becomes your power. Most people assume discipline means living with restriction. But real discipline is freedom. It gives you the ability to take charge of your life instead of being pulled around by your impulses. It gives you the strength to keep promises, push through discomfort, and do what you said you would do, even when it's inconvenient. That kind of self-respect is not built through theory. It's built through action. If you want to build discipline, you must do things you don't feel like doing. Wake up earlier than you want. Stick to the workout when you're tired. Eat the food that fuels you, not the food that tempts you. Finish the project when quitting feels easier. That resistance you feel, that's the exact place you need to push through. No one builds discipline without discomfort. It is the discomfort that sharpens the edge, and you must stop chasing ease if you want to become strong. Discipline is doing what's required, even when it's painful. It's showing up when your excuses feel valid. It's walking into the resistance instead of away from it. That means choosing the harder road every day in small ways, not to impress others, not to appear strong, but to build the habit of mastery. Wake up before the sun rises. Go for the walk when it's cold outside. Say no when temptation shows up. Sit in silence when your mind wants noise. Each choice might feel small, but they add up. Over time, they reshape who you are. The mistake many people make is waiting for motivation to build discipline. They believe that they need to feel inspired to take action. But motivation is unreliable. Some days it shows up. Most days it doesn't. That's why the people who rely on motivation stay inconsistent. The disciplined don't wait for the right mood. They follow a standard. They create systems that work even when their emotions don't. They wake up and do the work. Not because they feel like it, but because they've trained themselves to. They no longer ask, Do I want to do this? They've already decided. That decision saves them from negotiation, from hesitation, from failure. Every time you face something hard and finish it, something powerful happens. You stop running from challenge. You start trusting yourself. You prove to your own mind that you are someone who follows through. That kind of confidence can't be faked. It can't be borrowed. It can only be earned by doing what you know you must. You start to realize that discipline is not punishment. It's proof of your strength. It's a quiet kind of pride that doesn't need attention. It shows up in the way you carry yourself, in the way you handle stress, in the way you move through life with certainty. The only way to become that kind of person is through repetition. One difficult thing every day, something that challenges you, something that pushes your limits. It doesn't have to be extreme, it just has to be uncomfortable. Push for one more rep, write one more page, say no to one bad habit, confront one fear. Speak one truth, do one thing that makes you stronger. That is how discipline grows, through repeated exposure to difficulty. And the more you do this, the more your tolerance for discomfort grows. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. What once scared you becomes normal. Your mind adapts, your body strengthens, and your life transforms. The world is full of people looking for shortcuts. They want success without the sacrifice. They want change without the struggle. But if you study anyone who has achieved real growth, you will find one common theme. They all built discipline by doing what was hard over and over again. No secret, no shortcuts, just work. They pushed when it hurt. They stayed consistent when it was boring. They did what others weren't willing to do. That is how results are made. That is how legacies are built. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. But you don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Discipline is not about beating others. It's about beating who you were yesterday. It's about making the next right decision, no matter how small. It's about being a little stronger today than you were the day before. You don't need to make giant leaps. You just need to stop giving up. The compound effect of small acts done with discipline is unstoppable. One day you wake up and realize you've become someone who can handle anything. Someone who doesn't break under pressure. Someone who doesn't quit just because it's hard. When you build that version of yourself, life changes. You stop looking for external motivation because the fire is already inside you. You stop fearing challenges because you've been through enough of them to know you'll survive. You stop doubting yourself because you've proven over and over again that you can do what others won't. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being solid, grounded, consistent. It's about becoming someone you can rely on, no matter what life throws at you. So if you want to build discipline, start with one hard thing today. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Right now. Make it part of your identity. Not something you try, but something you live. Show up, push through, finish strong. Then do it again tomorrow, and again the next day. Eventually it becomes normal. It becomes who you are. And when that happens, success isn't something you chase anymore. It becomes something you attract, because you've built the strength to carry it. Chapter 3. Eliminate distractions and protect your mental energy. Your ability to focus determines the quality of your results. It shapes how you work, how you think, how you feel, and what you become. The modern world is filled with noise designed to pull your attention in every direction except the one that matters. If you do not actively protect your mental space, it will be taken from you. The notifications, the scrolling, the background chatter, the unnecessary obligations, all of them eat away at your focus until your mind is scattered and your energy is gone. If you want to live with clarity, you must make a decision. You must choose to remove what does not belong. You must reclaim your attention from everything that demands it without earning it. Distractions come in many forms, and not all of them look harmful. Some seem useful. Some are disguised as opportunities. Others are simply habits you've never questioned. But anything that pulls you away from what you know you should be doing is a distraction. Anything that interrupts your ability to think clearly and act deliberately weakens your potential. When your mind is constantly shifting from one thing to another, you never reach depth. You stay shallow, reactive, and overwhelmed. And in that state, it becomes nearly impossible to do meaningful work or make important decisions. That's why mental clarity is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Your energy is finite. You wake up with a certain amount each day, and every task, decision, or interruption takes a portion of it. If you spend your energy responding to every message, reacting to every update, or chasing every new idea, you'll reach the afternoon exhausted without having done anything truly important. That's how days turn into weeks and months of regret. You were busy, but not effective. You were present, but not intentional. You were awake, but not fully alive. To avoid that, you must treat your attention like currency. You must decide where it goes, and you must say no to everything that does not align with your priorities. One of the first steps to eliminating distractions is identifying your personal triggers. Pay attention to what pulls you away from your work, your thoughts, or your peace. Is it your phone, certain people, background noise, negative self-talk, unclear goals? Make a list. See it clearly. Then take practical steps to remove or reduce those triggers. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Set strict limits on social media use. Create physical space where you can think without interruption. Use headphones if noise bothers you. Clean up your digital environment. Say no to conversations that waste your time. Your mind cannot function at a high level in chaos. Order must be created, and that order begins with what you choose to allow into your space. If your schedule is cluttered, your thinking will be too. Overcommitting leads to resentment and burnout. Simplify your commitments. You do not need to attend every event or accept every invitation. The ability to say no clearly and calmly is one of the most powerful tools for protecting your time. You are not being rude. You are being responsible. You are making space for what matters most. And in that space, you will find the energy to create, reflect, and grow. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who focus on the right things, with undivided attention, and protect that focus at all costs. Another way to preserve your energy is to control the first and last hour of your day. These are the times when your mind is most open and most vulnerable. If you begin your morning by checking your phone, reading the news, or reacting to messages, you are training your brain to be distracted from the moment you wake up. If you end your night with noise and stimulation, your sleep suffers and your recovery weakens. Instead, give your mind space to breathe. Start your day in silence or with intentional activity. End your day with reflection, stillness, or meaningful conversation. These small shifts protect your mental bandwidth and give you a stronger foundation for everything else. You also need to be aware of internal distractions. It's not just about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside you. Overthinking, self-doubt, indecision, and unresolved emotions all drain your focus. You could be in a quiet room with your phone off and still feel exhausted from your own thoughts. That's why part of protecting your energy involves learning to manage your inner world. Keep a journal. Get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Practice deep breathing when your mind races. Move your body when your energy feels stuck. Ask for help when something's too heavy to carry alone. The quieter your mind becomes, the clearer your decisions will be. Distraction is not just a productivity issue, it's a life issue. When you are constantly distracted, you miss moments, you miss people, you miss yourself, you lose track of your direction, and you stop listening to your intuition. Clarity is not found in more noise, it is found in stillness. If you want to know what matters to you, remove what doesn't. If you want to know what you believe, unplug from what everyone else is saying. If you want to feel strong again, stop giving your attention to what weakens you. You do not need more stimulation. You need more space. You need more focus. You need to be fully where you are. That kind of presence is rare, but it is possible. It starts with ownership. No one else can protect your energy for you. No one else will make your mental clarity a priority. That is your job. And it starts with decisions. Decide to turn off your phone during focused work. Decide to take breaks without a screen. Decide to say no without guilt. Decide to spend time in silence every day. Decide to remove one distraction from your life this week. Every decision you make creates a signal. You are telling your mind what matters and what doesn't. Over time, your mind learns to follow your lead. It's not about being perfect. You will slip up. You will get distracted. But what matters is that you notice it and return to what matters. Don't let a few minutes of distraction turn into an entire wasted day. Catch yourself. Reset. Refocus. Discipline is built in those moments when you pull yourself back on track, and each time you do that, you get stronger. Your ability to return to what matters gets faster, your resilience grows, your clarity deepens, and your energy becomes sharper. You must stop normalizing mental exhaustion. You must stop accepting digital chaos as your default. You must stop letting other people decide what gets your attention. You are not here to be constantly accessible. You are not here to consume endless information. You are here to create, to grow, to connect deeply, to live fully. That kind of life requires intention. It requires boundaries. It requires choices. Eliminate the noise. Reclaim your energy. And give your full presence to what truly matters. That is where real life begins. Chapter 4. Create a morning routine that builds self-respect. How you begin your day reflects how you see yourself. It sets the tone for your decisions, your attitude, and your sense of control. A scattered morning leads to a scattered life. A structured morning creates stability. If you wake up each day and immediately react to the world, you're reinforcing a message to your mind: you don't matter enough to put yourself first. But when you begin your day with structure, care, and intention, you're telling yourself that your time, your energy, and your growth are worth protecting. That's how self-respect is built, through quiet, consistent action. Not through words or wishes, but through the discipline of showing up for yourself every morning before the noise begins. You don't need to build an extreme routine. You don't need to copy anyone's system. You need a few non-negotiable actions that center you, ground you, and remind you of who you're becoming. These don't have to take hours. What matters is consistency. A few simple habits done every day will do more for your confidence than random efforts done once in a while. The goal is to start each day with control, not chaos. When your mornings are aligned, the rest of your day follows more naturally. You carry a sense of direction. You act with more clarity. You stop letting the outside world decide your inner state. Building self-respect through a morning routine starts with honoring your time. If the first thing you do when you wake up is reach for your phone, you are giving away your attention before you've even checked in with yourself. Every notification, every piece of content, every message pulls you away from your own clarity. You don't need more information the moment you wake up. You need stillness. You need space. You need a moment to reconnect with your purpose. Your time in the morning is sacred. It's when your mind is most open and your willpower is strongest. Protect it. Use it to strengthen your foundation. The way you treat yourself in the early hours sets a standard for the rest of the day. If you wake up late, skip everything, and rush into your responsibilities, you start your day already behind. But if you get up on time, make your bed, hydrate your body, and move with intention, you're building internal momentum. You're showing yourself that you can lead your life instead of being dragged by it. These small actions are not meaningless. They are signals to your brain that say, I care about my well-being, I take my growth seriously, I am not here to drift. That mindset becomes part of you. Creating a morning routine is about more than habits. It's about identity. Every action you take in the morning becomes a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. If you read for 10 minutes, you reinforce that you are someone who feeds their mind. If you stretch or walk, you remind yourself that you are someone who prioritizes health. If you take 5 minutes to plan your day, you show yourself that your goals matter. And when you do these things daily, even when it's difficult, you begin to trust yourself. That trust becomes your strength. That trust builds your self-respect. One of the most overlooked benefits of a morning routine is emotional stability. When your mornings are chaotic, your mind becomes reactive. You're more likely to overthink, feel anxious, or spiral into stress. But when you start your day with calm and purpose, you give yourself emotional structure. You remind your mind that you are safe, in control, and focused. Even 5 minutes of calm reflection can lower your stress levels for the entire day. You don't need perfection. You need presence. Start your day in a way that gives you clarity instead of confusion. You also need discipline. A routine only works if you keep showing up. There will be days when you're tired, unmotivated, or distracted. Do it anyway. Self-respect is not built through comfort. It's built through consistency. When you follow your routine despite resistance, you gain something more valuable than motivation. You gain integrity. You learn to rely on yourself. You learn that your emotions don't have to control your actions. That's where real strength lives. You stop negotiating with laziness and start following your standard. That discipline becomes your foundation. Your routine should be honest. It should reflect your needs and values, not what looks impressive. You don't need an hour-long workout or a complicated schedule. You need clarity, movement, silence, or whatever anchors you. Maybe it's writing down your thoughts. Maybe it's reading something that inspires you. Maybe it's drinking water and sitting quietly in the sun. The point is not what you do, it's that you do it with purpose. It's that you stop allowing your mornings to be random. You deserve a routine that supports your growth. You deserve to treat yourself like someone worth showing up for. Each morning is a new opportunity. Not just to be productive, but to connect with yourself before the world asks anything of you. The quiet moments before everything begins are some of the most powerful. That's when you have the chance to set your tone, sharpen your mind, and move into the day with strength. When you ignore those moments, you live in reaction mode. When you use them wisely, you move with direction. Your goals, your mindset, and your actions all start aligning, and that alignment brings peace. It brings confidence. It brings self-respect that cannot be shaken by circumstances. One of the greatest forms of power is self-leadership. A morning routine is your daily practice of self-leadership. It's where you practice doing what's right for you without waiting for permission. It's where you build the habits that fuel your purpose. It's where you reset, recharge, and recommit to your values. And the more often you do it, the easier it becomes to live with discipline in other parts of your life. You start making better decisions because you're grounded. You handle stress better because you're centered. You keep promises to yourself because you've already started the day with integrity. The truth is, you don't need more motivation. You need more structure. Structure creates freedom. Structure gives your mind a framework. When your mornings are structured, your thoughts become clearer. Your emotions become steadier. Your goals feel closer. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start investing in what does. And that investment compounds. Over weeks and months, your routine becomes part of who you are. And when you look back, you'll see that it wasn't one big event that changed you. It was those quiet mornings when you showed up for yourself without needing praise. Self-respect is not something you find, it's something you earn. You earn it by doing what builds you up, even when it's hard. You earn it by choosing discipline over comfort, consistency over excuses, clarity over noise. A solid morning routine is one of the simplest but most powerful tools for earning that respect. It reminds you daily that your growth is in your hands, that you are capable of taking control, that your life is shaped by how you start each day, not by luck, not by other people, but by the choices you make before the day begins. So start with what you can manage. Start with one habit, if that's all you can do. But do it every day. Build on it slowly. Create a morning that strengthens you. Show yourself that you matter enough to begin your day with purpose. Not just once in a while, but every single day. That is how you rise. That is how you grow. That is how you build a life rooted in strength, not survival. Chapter 5. Set goals that align with your deepest values. Not every goal leads to fulfillment. Many chase what sounds good, looks impressive, or pleases others, only to arrive empty, confused, or burned out. Real growth begins when you stop setting goals based on pressure or comparison, and start setting goals that match what truly matters to you. Your values are not just preferences. They are the foundation of who you are. When your goals align with your core values, every step forward feels meaningful, not forced. Progress becomes sustainable because it's fueled by conviction, not just ambition. Without that connection, discipline fades, decisions become scattered, and no amount of achievement brings real peace. The first step is to stop and get honest. What do you actually value? Not what others taught you to value, not what culture says you should value, but what makes you feel grounded, alive, and in alignment with who you are. Maybe it's honesty. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's growth, contribution, family, or discipline. The point is not to get the right answer. The point is to get your answer. Because if you don't know what truly matters to you, you'll keep chasing goals that belong to someone else's life. And no matter how hard you work, it will never feel like enough. This is why reflection matters. Before you write another list of goals, take time to ask yourself the harder questions. What kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life feels right, not just impressive or comfortable, but right? What actions or behaviors make me feel proud of who I am? The more clearly you define your values, the easier it becomes to set goals that mean something. Goals that pull you forward with quiet strength. Goals that don't drain your energy because they already belong to you deep inside. It's also important to understand that not every season of your life needs the same goals. Your values remain steady, but how they express themselves will evolve. Maybe right now you value stability, so your goals focus on building consistency. Maybe later you'll value challenge, so your goals will push you toward new heights. The key is to stay rooted in your values while remaining flexible in your direction. That way you can adapt without losing yourself. You can grow without drifting. When you align your goals with your values, Decision-making becomes simpler. You don't waste time debating what's next. You measure your choices against what you stand for. If a path doesn't honor your values, you don't follow it. If a goal looks impressive but empties your soul, you walk away from it. That kind of clarity is rare, but it's powerful. It protects you from distraction. It frees you from comparison. It allows you to live with quiet confidence because you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Another benefit of value-aligned goals is deeper resilience. When you face setbacks, and you will, it's much easier to keep going when your goals are connected to something meaningful. If your only motivation is external validation, failure feels unbearable. But if your goal is tied to your values, failure becomes part of the process. It doesn't shake your identity because you're still living in alignment. You still believe in what you're building. You still trust the direction. That belief allows you to endure discomfort, push through resistance, and recover faster from setbacks. There's also a difference in how you show up when your goals match your values. You don't need to fake motivation. You don't need to talk yourself into the work every day. You wake up knowing the effort matters. You feel a sense of inner responsibility, not external obligation. That's what gives your actions meaning. Even the boring parts, even the slow progress, they all feel purposeful because they serve something real. They reflect the kind of life you've decided to create. To set goals with depth, you need more than numbers or timelines. You need reasons. Why does this goal matter to you? What value does it support? How does it make you better, not just busier? The deeper the reason, the stronger the drive. So stop chasing surface-level goals. Stop choosing goals just because they're popular, convenient, or easy to explain. Choose goals that light something inside you. Goals that reflect your standards. Goals that bring you closer to who you want to be, even when nobody is watching. Sometimes this will mean choosing the harder path, maybe a slower route, maybe a quieter journey that doesn't come with applause, but that's what makes it real. That's what gives it weight. When you stop performing for approval and start acting from your values, you live with integrity, you live with purpose. You live in a way that cannot be taken from you because it's not dependent on trends, status, or outcomes. It's rooted in truth. Start small. Choose one area of your life, your health, your relationships, your finances, your work, and ask yourself, what do I value most in this area? Then ask, what specific goal would reflect that value? Not a vague hope, not a distant wish. A clear goal that supports what you care about. Write it down. Make it visible. Break it into daily actions. Track your consistency. Let your values lead the process, not your mood, not the opinions of others, not the fear of falling short. Don't expect everything to feel easy. Value-based goals often require more courage, more thought, and more patience. But they also come with deeper rewards. Peace instead of pressure. Progress that feels honest. Growth that strengthens your character, not just your image. And that's worth every challenge you face along the way. Many people set goals to impress others. Few set goals to become who they were meant to be. Be one of the few. Choose the deeper path. Align your goals with your values. Measure your success by your growth, your clarity, and your peace. Let your actions reflect your principles. Let your plans be shaped by what truly matters to you. Not what's trending, not what's expected, but what is deeply true. You will not regret building a life based on what you stand for. You will not regret waking up each day with purpose that matches your beliefs. You will not regret sacrificing comfort for meaning, because when you look back, the goals that made you proud will not be the ones that earned you praise. They'll be the ones that helped you become a person of substance. Someone who didn't just chase outcomes, but lived with purpose. That is what lasting success looks like. And it begins when you decide to stop living by accident and start living by what you value most. Chapter 6. Track progress daily to stay focused and sharp. You might think you're making progress because you're tired at the end of the day. But exhaustion isn't proof of progress. It could just mean you spent hours doing things that felt urgent but led nowhere. Tracking helps you separate movement from achievement. It forces you to confront the truth. Are you actually moving closer to what matters, or are you just distracted and calling it work? The difference between those two paths is everything. One leads to mastery, the other leads to regret. Most people wake up with intentions, but without tracking their progress, they drift. They start with a goal in mind, but lose sight of where they stand because they never stop to measure. You can't improve what you don't track, and you can't stay focused if you don't know whether you're moving forward or just staying busy. Daily progress tracking is not about obsessing over perfection, it's about staying present with your effort. It brings your attention back to what matters. It keeps your mind sharp, your priorities clear, and your energy directed. When you track something, you make it real. You take it out of your head and put it in front of your eyes. That small act creates accountability. It sharpens your awareness. You're no longer guessing whether you're consistent or not. You have evidence, and that evidence gives you clarity. Clarity builds momentum. Momentum fuels confidence, and confidence over time creates discipline that doesn't fade. But it has to happen daily. Weekly reviews are helpful. Monthly check-ins have their place. But when you want real focus, when you want to stay sharp in your mind and consistent in your behavior, you need daily tracking. You need a system that reminds you, here's what I said I'd do, here's what I actually did. Not to shame yourself, not to become rigid, but to stay awake to your effort. To adjust early before small slips become habits. To catch where you're slipping before it becomes a pattern that sets you back. The best performers in any field don't rely on memory, they use data. They don't leave progress to chance. They measure, they review, they improve based on patterns, not feelings. You don't need fancy tools, you need honesty, a notebook, a tracker, a list. Something simple that keeps your focus aligned with your intentions. If you did what you said you would, mark it down. If you didn't, mark that too. You'll begin to see trends. You'll notice where you excel. You'll uncover where you resist. And with that awareness comes the power to course correct. Some days you'll feel like you made no progress, but when you look at your tracker, you'll see the truth. You showed up, you followed through, and that's a win. Other days you'll feel like you crushed it, but when you check your records, you'll realize you missed key actions. That's not failure, it's feedback. It brings you out of emotional noise and into grounded self-awareness. Over time, this habit protects you from self-deception. It builds your discipline in silence. It shapes your character when nobody's watching. Even one page can change your life. A simple system that says, these are the 3 things I do every morning. These are the habits I track daily. This is how I measure progress in my work, my health, my growth, and each day you revisit it. Not for hours, just a few moments of focused reflection. That's enough to reinforce your standards. That's enough to build inner accountability. And that, over time, becomes the edge that separates those who keep drifting from those who rise with direction. The goal is not to become mechanical. You're not tracking your life like a machine. You're bringing structure to your focus so you can direct your time with purpose. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to feel busy, but stay stuck. That's why tracking is essential. It brings your attention back to what matters most before the day slips away. It helps you start strong and finish clear. It turns your goals into actions and your actions into proof. There will be days when you don't feel like tracking. Track anyway. Especially then, that's when the practice becomes powerful. That's when you build mental toughness. Not in the perfect days, but in the hard ones, when you feel scattered, off track, or tempted to coast. Just picking up your tracker and recording your effort is a win. It reminds you that you're still in control. You're still the one steering your life. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. You just need to show up every day, stay aware, and be honest about your progress. That honesty is rare, but it's what separates those who build momentum from those who keep starting over. Most people never look at their patterns. They keep reacting. They wonder why they feel stuck. You're not like most people. You're not leaving your focus to chance. You're choosing to live with precision. It also clears mental clutter. When you track your progress, your mind doesn't have to keep replaying what you forgot, what you skipped, or what you still owe yourself. You can close the day with peace because it's all there, recorded, reviewed, and respected. That mental clarity makes room for deeper focus, better sleep, and more intentional action the next day. You're not running from your commitments. You're meeting them head-on, one small win at a time. Daily tracking makes you sharper. It builds your ability to concentrate. It teaches you to notice small wins. It keeps you connected to your goals even when life gets noisy. Over time, this habit rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to be disciplined and start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, someone who shows up, takes ownership, and respects the process. If you ever feel lost, go back to your tracker. Look at the last 7 days. See what's working. See what's missing. Don't judge. Just adjust. One habit, one action, one decision at a time. This is how you reclaim focus. This is how you build clarity. This is how you become unshakable in your direction. Start now. Choose what matters. Track what counts. Stay honest. Stay consistent. Let each day be proof, not of perfection, but of purpose. This is how transformation begins, not with huge leaps, but with small steps that you actually track and complete. And the more you track, the more you improve. Not someday, but every single day. Chapter 7. Break big tasks into small daily action steps. Most people avoid starting because what they want seems too far away, too big, too complex. They look at the entire mountain and feel defeated before they even take a step. The truth is, no great goal is achieved all at once. Anything meaningful is built slowly, through repeated effort, through manageable daily actions. You don't need to figure out every step before you begin. You just need to understand the next one clearly enough to do it today. When you break a large task down into small steps, something powerful happens. You take control. You stop being overwhelmed by the scale of the outcome and start focusing on the action you can take now. It gives your mind something concrete to hold on to. It shifts your focus from imagining how far you have to go to simply asking, what can I do before the day ends? Waiting for the perfect moment to act is how most dreams die. People freeze under pressure, not because they aren't capable, but because they're staring at the entire challenge instead of focusing on one task. The solution isn't more motivation, it's breaking things down so you no longer need motivation. You just follow through on a small, clear step each day, and over time, progress builds. The mistake many people make is thinking action has to be grand to matter. They wait for inspiration. They try to tackle everything in one burst. But real progress doesn't come from occasional explosions of energy. It comes from sustainable repeated action that doesn't burn you out. You don't need to build the entire wall today. You just need to lay one brick properly, and then another tomorrow. That's how great work is built. Quietly, steadily, and with intention. Clarity is the antidote to procrastination. When you're clear on what to do, you stop hesitating. That's why breaking down tasks is essential. It removes confusion. Vague goals create mental friction. You say you want to write a book, start a business, get fit, but unless you define what that looks like in daily actions, write 500 words, send one email, go for a 30-minute walk, it stays stuck as a wish. Wishes don't get results, actions do. Breaking big tasks into smaller pieces also builds confidence. Each time you complete a small action, you prove to yourself that you're moving. That progress gives you psychological momentum. You start to trust your effort, and that trust compounds. Instead of thinking about everything that could go wrong, you begin to focus on what's working. Your focus shifts from anxiety to execution. There's another benefit to small steps. They teach you discipline without pressure. Large goals often come with fear. You worry about failing, you compare yourself to others, you overthink. But when you just focus on doing one specific thing each day, those voices lose power. You don't have to battle your doubts, you just outwork them. The process becomes predictable. You stop waiting to feel ready. You just act, and the feelings catch up later. If you want to run a marathon, you don't start by running 26 miles. You start with 1, then you do 2, then 3. You give your body time to adapt. The same applies to your mind. When you break big goals into daily steps, you build mental endurance. You make the journey possible. You make the process rewarding. It's no longer about someday. It's about what gets done today. The key is specificity. Don't just say you'll work on your project. Say exactly what part. Instead of "I'll study," decide what you'll study and for how long. Vague tasks invite resistance. Clear steps remove it. Your mind wants direction. Give it that, and you'll find it easier to begin. And once you begin, momentum takes care of the rest. You don't need to do it all today. You just need to do something meaningful today. And then repeat that tomorrow. One clear, focused action at a time. That's how consistency is built. That's how progress becomes real. Even if your step feels small, it matters, because that one step might be the one that leads to the breakthrough. You'll never know unless you do it. Sometimes your steps will feel too small to matter, but those steps are the glue that holds everything together. You're not just building results, you're building habits. You're showing up, even when it's hard. You're proving that you can follow through. That kind of trust in yourself is earned, not given, and it's earned through small daily actions, stacked one on top of another. There's wisdom in doing less, but doing it daily. That's how you outlast discouragement. That's how you avoid burnout. Most people start fast and quit early. You don't need to move fast. You need to move consistently. When you break things down, you protect your energy, you create a rhythm, you build routines that don't just serve you once, but carry you forward week after week. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your input. That's what small daily actions give you, a sense of control over your direction. They reconnect you with your power to act, regardless of how big the goal may seem. You stop waiting for a sign. You stop making excuses. You just do what needs to be done today, and then again tomorrow, and that alone changes everything. As you continue this pattern, you start to notice something important. Your vision becomes clearer. When you're in action every day, Even in small ways, you gain insights. You see what works. You learn where you're stuck. You gain clarity that sitting around and thinking never gives you. Action creates feedback, and that feedback helps you grow smarter, faster, and stronger in your pursuit. You don't need a massive plan to get started. You need one task. You need one direction. You need one simple action that proves to yourself that you're no longer waiting, you're working. Big goals feel heavy. Small steps feel doable. When you start with doable, you become unstoppable. And so can you. When things feel too big, too hard, too far away, don't stop. Don't overthink. Don't retreat. Break it down. Pick one step. Do it today. Then build on that. And in time, you won't just have progress. You'll have proof. Proof that you took responsibility. Proof that you made the dream real. Through action, not talk. That is how anything meaningful is built. Not in one leap, but in steady, deliberate steps, taken daily, without excuse and without delay. Every great achievement was once a long list of small, unfinished actions. The difference between those who finish and those who fade out is simple. They kept breaking things down. They kept simplifying the process. They didn't let the size of the goal silence their effort. They kept moving forward, one intentional day at a time. Chapter 8. Develop confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Confidence grows quietly when you consistently keep promises to yourself. It's not about grand gestures or sudden bursts of bravery. It's the small daily commitments you make and honor that build a foundation you can trust. When you tell yourself you will do something and then follow through, you prove to your mind that you are reliable. This reliability becomes the core of true confidence. It's a trust in your own word that no external approval can replace. Without this trust, confidence is fragile and fleeting. Breaking promises to yourself, even small ones, chips away at your sense of self-worth. Each missed commitment sends a message to your subconscious: you're not dependable. Over time, those messages build doubt. You begin to hesitate, question your ability, and avoid challenges. But when you reverse that pattern, when you start keeping promises, no matter how small, you repair that trust. You create a positive feedback loop. The more you follow through, the stronger your belief in yourself becomes. Expect setbacks, but don't let them derail you. If you miss a promise, acknowledge it honestly, but don't use it as an excuse to give up. Instead, analyze why it happened and adjust your plan. Maybe the promise was too ambitious or the timing was off. Refining your approach shows self-awareness and reinforces your commitment. It also teaches resilience, the ability to keep trying despite failure. Resilience is an essential component of confidence because it proves that your worth is not dependent on perfection, but on persistence. Start with promises that are realistic and specific. Don't overcommit. Instead of vague goals like "I will exercise more," say "I will walk for 15 minutes today." When your promises are clear and achievable, it's easier to keep them. Each success reinforces your reliability and reduces internal resistance. That momentum grows quickly. Before long, you notice your hesitation decreases. Your internal voice shifts from doubt to assurance, because it has evidence that you follow through. Accountability to yourself is as important as accountability to others. When you commit to a task or habit privately, treat it with the same respect you give public promises. Don't dismiss your internal agreements as less important. Your relationship with yourself is the most significant one you will ever have. If you repeatedly break promises to yourself, that relationship suffers. But when you honor your commitments, you strengthen that bond and create a sense of self-respect that fuels confidence. Journaling can help track your promises and progress. Writing down your daily commitments and reviewing them regularly keeps you mindful of your consistency. It transforms vague intentions into clear, documented actions. This process deepens your awareness and allows you to celebrate small wins. Recognizing progress, even in modest steps, encourages you to keep moving forward. Positive reinforcement strengthens the habit of reliability, which directly boosts your confidence. Building confidence through keeping promises also involves setting boundaries. Saying no to distractions or temptations protects your commitments. When you guard your time and energy, you show yourself that your goals matter. This discipline prevents the erosion of trust that comes from neglecting your promises. It also empowers you to prioritize your growth over temporary comfort, which is essential for sustained confidence. Celebrate every promise you keep. Don't minimize your achievements or wait for big successes to feel worthy. Each time you honor your word, acknowledge it. This recognition builds positive emotions tied to reliability. Over time, these positive feelings become associated with taking action and following through. This emotional connection makes it easier to maintain commitments because you associate them with personal satisfaction, not struggle or obligation. Avoid the trap of perfectionism. Keeping promises doesn't mean never making mistakes or always succeeding on the first try. It means continuing to honor your commitments with honesty and effort. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination because people fear breaking their promises. Instead, embrace progress over perfection. Each small promise kept, regardless of the outcome, strengthens your confidence more than any flawless performance ever could. Consistency is the key to transforming promises into confidence. It's not one day or one promise that makes the difference, but the accumulation over time. The brain recognizes patterns, so regular follow-through rewires your mindset. You shift from doubting your abilities to expecting success from yourself. This transformation changes your behavior, your attitude, and how you approach opportunities. You become proactive rather than reactive. You step forward rather than hesitate. Confidence grows not by avoiding failure, but by consistently choosing to act despite fear or uncertainty. Keeping promises to yourself is a daily practice of courage. Each commitment fulfilled is proof that you can rely on yourself when it matters most. This trust builds a stable internal foundation that supports your actions in every area of life. It prepares you to face challenges with a calm, grounded mindset because you know you have already proven your ability to follow through. It's important to recognize that confidence built this way is internal and lasting. It doesn't depend on external validation, approval, or comparisons. You become your own source of strength. You learn to rely on the certainty of your integrity rather than the fluctuating opinions of others. This kind of confidence empowers authentic action and reduces anxiety about outcomes. You take risks knowing your self-worth is stable, regardless of results. When you keep promises to yourself, you naturally set higher standards. Your internal expectations rise because you have proven that you can meet commitments. This elevated standard motivates you to stretch beyond comfort zones. It creates a healthy challenge that pushes growth without overwhelming you. Confidence thrives in this space where capability meets ambition. You grow by trusting your capacity to handle more responsibility and bigger challenges. Taking responsibility for your promises shifts your mindset from victim to creator. When you stop blaming circumstances, people, or feelings for broken commitments, you regain control. Owning your choices means recognizing your power to change. This shift alone builds confidence because it places your success in your hands. You stop waiting for external conditions to be perfect and start moving forward with what you have. Building confidence through keeping promises to yourself is not a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice. But it is one of the most reliable ways to develop deep self-trust. Every time you keep your word, you are reinforcing a cycle of integrity that affects all areas of your life. This cycle influences relationships, work, health, and personal growth. It creates a stable foundation where confidence can grow steadily and powerfully. The act of keeping promises is a way of respecting your future self. Each commitment honored protects you from regret and self-doubt. It shows that you value your own well-being and growth enough to follow through even when it's inconvenient. This respect strengthens your identity as someone who is dependable and capable. That identity becomes a source of strength you can draw on during difficult times. Ultimately, confidence is a byproduct of your consistent actions. It is not something you wait for or wish into existence. You create it by being true to your word every day. Start small. Choose promises you can keep. Make them clear. Track them, if needed. Reflect honestly on your progress. Adjust when necessary. And above all, keep going. This steady dedication will build the unshakable confidence that leads to real success and fulfillment. Chapter 9. Practice gratitude to shift your mindset instantly. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools available to shift your mindset immediately and sustainably. It works not by ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but by changing the way your mind focuses. When you practice gratitude regularly, you train your brain to seek out what's working, what's good, and what you can appreciate even in difficult moments. This simple shift releases tension and opens space for clearer thinking, more energy, and a deeper sense of peace. It's not just a feel-good exercise, it's a strategic practice that rewires your mind for positivity and resilience. Many people wait for big wins to feel grateful, but gratitude works best when you recognize the small things. The sound of a morning breeze, the taste of a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a stranger. These moments might seem ordinary, but they are rich with value. Noticing them rewires your mind away from scarcity and complaint toward abundance and appreciation. This daily habit builds emotional strength. You become less reactive to setbacks because your mind remembers there is good, even when life feels hard. Gratitude is a mental anchor that keeps you steady. The act of naming what you are grateful for matters deeply. It brings what's inside your mind into the light of awareness. When you say or write down your gratitude, you stop taking things for granted. You move from automatic negativity to conscious appreciation. This process trains your brain to focus on positives instead of problems. Over time, this rewiring increases your overall happiness and reduces stress. It makes you more present in your life because you notice what you might otherwise overlook. Practicing gratitude is also a way to reset your mindset instantly. When negative thoughts or worries take hold, pausing to reflect on something you appreciate breaks the pattern. This pause interrupts automatic reactions and creates a moment of choice. You can either stay stuck in frustration or shift toward gratitude. The shift is immediate and powerful because it changes the chemistry in your brain. You experience less anxiety and more calm. Your heart rate slows and your breathing deepens. These physiological changes help you think more clearly and make better decisions. Gratitude builds humility and perspective. It reminds you that your life is part of a larger story filled with contributions from others and countless circumstances beyond your control. Recognizing this helps you let go of entitlement and comparison. You stop measuring your worth by what you lack or what others have. Instead, you find contentment in what is already present. This shift is freeing. It reduces the pressure to constantly chase more and opens your mind to deeper satisfaction. It's important to make gratitude a consistent habit. It's not enough to practice only when you feel like it or when things go well. The real power lies in practicing gratitude, especially when life is challenging. In those moments, gratitude becomes a tool for resilience. It reminds you of your strengths, resources, and the support available to you. It helps you see opportunities hidden within difficulties. Regular practice creates a mindset that can weather storms without losing sight of hope. Sharing gratitude with others strengthens relationships and your own mindset. Expressing appreciation aloud or in writing builds connection and trust. It encourages kindness and generosity in both parties. When you regularly acknowledge what others contribute to your life, you reinforce a positive environment around you. This social aspect of gratitude increases your happiness and motivation. You become part of a cycle that lifts everyone involved. Keeping a gratitude journal is a practical way to build this habit. Each day, write down 3 specific things you are grateful for. These don't have to be monumental. In fact, the more specific and personal, the better. Instead of writing, "I'm grateful for my family," write, "I'm grateful for the smile my child gave me this morning." Specificity helps your brain recall vivid details that deepen the emotional impact. Over time, this practice shifts your attention naturally toward noticing positives throughout your day. If you struggle to feel grateful, start by appreciating the opportunity to practice. Even the effort to focus on gratitude creates a small shift. You don't need to force it or fake it. Simply noticing one thing, no matter how small, moves you in the right direction. Like any skill, gratitude grows stronger with repetition and patience. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to find moments of appreciation throughout your day. Avoid comparing your gratitude practice to others. Your experience is unique, and your reasons for gratitude are personal. There is no right or wrong way to be grateful. The key is sincerity and consistency. Even a brief moment of true appreciation can reset your mindset and influence your day positively. Gratitude also boosts creativity and problem solving. When your mind is stuck in negativity, it narrows and becomes rigid. Gratitude expands your thinking. It helps you see new possibilities and solutions instead of obstacles. This mental flexibility is essential for growth and success. It allows you to approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear. This mindset opens doors that frustration and complaint close. Gratitude is not an escape from reality. It doesn't deny hardship or pain. Instead, it adds balance. It acknowledges difficulty while also recognizing good. This balanced perspective builds emotional strength. It allows you to face life with courage and clarity. It shifts your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine can be simple and quick. Start or end your day by mentally listing what you're thankful for. Use reminders if needed, a note on your mirror or phone alert to prompt this habit. The cumulative effect of these small moments builds a strong foundation for a positive mindset. Over weeks and months, you'll notice less stress, more optimism, and an increased ability to handle challenges calmly. When gratitude becomes a natural part of your thinking, it influences your actions. You become more generous, patient, and compassionate. You make choices aligned with your values rather than driven by fear or scarcity. This alignment supports your growth and deepens your relationships. Gratitude connects you to a sense of purpose beyond immediate desires. Chapter 10. Strengthen your mind by doing uncomfortable things. Remember, gratitude is a skill that anyone can develop. It requires no special training or resources. It only requires your willingness to notice and appreciate. The simple practice of gratitude rewires your brain, lifts your spirit, and strengthens your resilience. It is a powerful key to shifting your mindset instantly and sustaining a positive, focused, and peaceful life. Strengthening the mind happens when you step beyond comfort and face challenges that test your resolve. Growth does not occur in ease, but in discomfort. It is in those moments of struggle, uncertainty, and effort where mental strength is forged. Avoiding discomfort only weakens your ability to adapt and persist. Choosing to engage with what feels difficult trains your brain to withstand stress and build resilience. Over time, this creates a foundation of inner toughness that supports success in all areas of life. Every time you willingly do something uncomfortable, you expand your capacity to handle adversity. Your mind learns that discomfort is temporary and manageable, not a threat to your well-being. This rewiring reduces fear and avoidance behavior. Instead of shrinking from challenges, you become curious and proactive. You start to see discomfort as a signal of growth rather than a warning to retreat. This shift changes how you approach problems and setbacks. You become stronger because you have practiced endurance. The process starts small. You don't need to jump into the hardest challenge immediately. Begin by identifying actions that push your boundaries just enough to create unease without overwhelming you. This could be starting a difficult conversation, waking up earlier than usual, or trying a new skill. The key is consistency. Doing small, uncomfortable things regularly builds mental muscle. These repeated efforts accumulate into confidence and emotional control. Uncomfortable situations force you to develop focus and clarity. When you're challenged, distractions fade. Your mind sharpens to navigate uncertainty. You learn to tolerate ambiguity and remain calm despite pressure. These skills improve decision-making and reduce impulsive reactions. Over time, you become more centered. You carry a quiet confidence that is not shaken by unexpected difficulties or criticism. Discomfort also teaches humility and patience. When things are easy, it's tempting to rush and expect immediate results. Facing hardship reminds you that progress takes time and effort. It slows you down enough to learn from mistakes and refine your approach. This steady process develops persistence and grit, qualities essential for long-term success. You realize that enduring discomfort is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of character. Mental strength gained from discomfort is essential to overcome fear. Fear often disguises itself as avoidance or procrastination. When you face what scares you, even in small ways, you reduce its power. You prove to yourself that you can act despite fear. This practice rewires your brain to respond with courage instead of paralysis. As a result, fear becomes less intimidating and more manageable. You gain freedom to pursue your goals without being held hostage by anxiety. Embracing discomfort also deepens self-awareness. Difficult experiences reveal your patterns of thinking and behavior. They expose doubts, limiting beliefs, and emotional triggers. This awareness is a powerful tool for growth. Once you see these obstacles clearly, you can address them directly. You can develop strategies to manage them rather than being controlled by them. Self-awareness cultivated through discomfort leads to greater emotional intelligence and resilience. Avoid the trap of seeking comfort as a way to avoid pain. Comfort can be addictive and misleading. It promises safety but often leads to stagnation. Staying in comfort zones means missing opportunities for learning and expansion. You might feel temporarily relieved but end up frustrated by lack of progress. Strengthening your mind requires a willingness to accept discomfort as part of the journey. This acceptance reduces resistance and increases your capacity for change. It's natural to feel resistance before doing uncomfortable things. That resistance is a signal that you're growing. It means you're challenging old habits and thought patterns. Instead of fighting that feeling, use it as motivation. Acknowledge it and act anyway. Each time you do, you build confidence and reduce future resistance. Over time, you will notice discomfort losing its grip over your actions and decisions. Physical discomfort and mental discomfort often go hand in hand. Activities like exercise or fasting not only improve your body, but also your mental endurance. When you push through physical limits, you train your mind to stay focused and persistent. This crossover effect enhances your overall ability to handle stress. Strengthening your mind through physical challenge builds a holistic resilience that touches every aspect of life. Chapter 11. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. The people you choose to spend your time with shape your mindset more than you realize. Their energy influences your emotions, their beliefs affect your perspective, and their habits impact your daily choices. Surrounding yourself with individuals who lift you up creates an environment where growth is possible and success becomes natural. When your circle is positive and supportive, you feel encouraged to take risks, pursue your goals, and push through challenges. Being around those who believe in you strengthens your own belief and keeps your motivation alive. It is impossible to grow in isolation. Humans are social creatures wired to respond to connection. When you engage with people who inspire you, you absorb their confidence and resilience. Their enthusiasm becomes contagious. This connection fuels your drive to improve. On the other hand, toxic or negative relationships drain your energy and cloud your judgment. They plant doubt and discourage effort. Protecting your mental space by choosing uplifting company is essential to maintaining focus and emotional health. Uplifting people don't just cheer you on, they hold you accountable. They remind you of your potential when you forget. They challenge you to be better without tearing you down. True support doesn't enable excuses or complacency. Instead, it encourages responsibility and honest reflection. This balance between encouragement and challenge pushes you forward in ways comfort cannot. When you feel safe to fail and learn within your circle, your confidence deepens and your resilience grows. Energy is contagious. If you consistently spend time with pessimists or complainers, their mindset will rub off on you. You may find yourself feeling defeated without realizing why. Conversely, when you surround yourself with optimistic and solution-oriented people, you absorb their outlook. Their ability to see possibilities instead of obstacles inspires similar thinking. This shift in perspective opens new doors. It changes how you approach problems and opportunities. Finding people who uplift you starts with identifying your values and goals, who aligns with your vision, who encourages your growth. Look for relationships where mutual respect and positivity exist. These connections are not always abundant, so be intentional about cultivating them. Seek environments such as clubs, workshops, or online communities that share your interests and aspirations. The right people provide a network of support that nurtures your progress. Distance may be necessary to protect yourself from toxic influences. It can be difficult to step away from relationships that drain your energy, especially if they are long-standing or family. However, protecting your well-being requires boundaries. Setting limits on interactions with negative individuals does not mean cutting people off completely. It means prioritizing your mental health and growth. Your ability to thrive depends on maintaining a positive environment, even if that means making hard decisions about who you spend time with. Listening carefully to the language people use around you is a subtle but important clue about their impact. Do they focus on solutions or problems? Do they speak with gratitude or complaint? Do they inspire hope or reinforce fear? Language shapes thought. Being around those who use empowering language influences you to do the same. This creates a reinforcing cycle of positivity and progress. Over time, you absorb these attitudes until they become your own. Uplifting relationships involve active participation from both sides. It's not just about receiving support, but also giving it. When you encourage others, you strengthen your own commitment to growth. Supportive connections require honesty, empathy, and generosity. These qualities deepen trust and create a safe space where everyone feels valued. Such environments foster creativity and courage, two essentials for success. Surrounding yourself with positive influences also means limiting exposure to unnecessary negativity. This includes digital environments. Social media, news, and entertainment can flood your mind with fear, envy, and distraction. Curating your digital space by choosing uplifting content helps protect your mental energy. Replace mindless scrolling with reading inspiring stories, listening to motivational podcasts, or engaging in communities focused on growth. The quality of your inputs affects the quality of your thoughts and actions. Celebrate progress with your supportive circle. Sharing your wins, no matter how small, reinforces your motivation. It creates a culture of encouragement where achievements are recognized and valued. This mutual celebration builds momentum and a sense of belonging. When you feel seen and appreciated, your desire to keep growing intensifies. Your success becomes intertwined with the collective spirit of your community. At times, you will encounter people who challenge you constructively. These are the ones who push you out of complacency without diminishing your worth. Embrace this discomfort as a sign of genuine investment in your growth. Growth rarely happens without some tension. Honest feedback and tough questions reveal blind spots and opportunities for improvement. Accepting this input with openness strengthens your character and sharpens your skills. Remember that uplifting relationships evolve. People change and circumstances shift. Stay aware of how your connections influence you over time. Periodically reflect on whether your circle continues to support your goals and well-being. Don't hesitate to expand, adjust, or even release relationships as needed. Your growth depends on your ability to adapt your social environment to serve your highest good. Building a network of people who uplift you is not an overnight task. It requires intention, courage, and effort. Attend events that align with your interests. Volunteer or join groups where positivity and growth are core values. Reach out and nurture new connections with genuine curiosity and kindness. Invest time in building trust and mutual support. These efforts create a foundation that sustains your motivation and inspires continuous improvement. The benefits of surrounding yourself with uplifting people extend beyond your personal growth. They influence your emotional health, productivity, and overall satisfaction with life. Positive relationships reduce stress and increase feelings of safety and belonging. They inspire creativity and foster a mindset oriented towards success. When you cultivate such a network, you build a fortress of support that helps you face life's challenges with confidence and hope. In the end, the company you keep is a reflection of your self-respect and commitment to growth. Choosing to surround yourself with people who uplift you is an act of self-care and wisdom. It shows that you value your potential and are willing to protect it fiercely. This choice shapes your path and determines how far you will go. Uplifting relationships are not a luxury, they are a necessity for anyone serious about living a meaningful, successful life. Make this choice daily. Seek out the voices that build you up, the energies that inspire you, and the hearts that care for your progress. Guard your time and attention as precious resources. Invest them wisely in connections that encourage your best self to emerge. Through this, you create a positive environment where success flourishes naturally and joy grows steadily. Chapter 12. Speak less and listen deeply with full attention. Learning to speak less and listen deeply is a powerful skill that transforms both your relationships and your inner world. In a culture that values quick responses and constant talking, choosing to listen fully requires intention and courage. When you listen deeply, you offer your full attention without planning your next response or judging what you hear. This practice opens doors to understanding others more clearly and connecting on a profound level. It shifts your focus from being heard to truly hearing, which builds trust and respect. Speaking less doesn't mean withholding your voice or hiding your ideas. It means valuing silence as a space for reflection and clarity. When you reduce unnecessary words, your speech becomes more purposeful and impactful. You learn to express yourself with precision rather than volume. This approach commands attention because people sense your thoughtfulness and respect for the conversation. Speaking less invites others to share more, creating balanced and meaningful dialogue. Deep listening requires patience and presence. It asks you to slow down your thoughts and quiet your internal chatter. Instead of preparing your reply, focus entirely on the speaker's words, tone, and body language. Notice emotions beneath the surface. This level of attention demonstrates genuine care. It encourages openness and honesty. People naturally respond positively to someone who listens without distraction or interruption. This quality strengthens relationships and increases mutual understanding. Listening with full attention also enhances your learning. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to gain new perspectives and insights. When you absorb information deeply, you process it more accurately. This reduces misunderstandings and allows you to respond thoughtfully. Over time, your ability to listen deeply sharpens your judgment and decision-making. You become more attuned to subtle cues and complexities that others might miss. Silence is an essential part of speaking less and listening more. It creates space for reflection and comprehension. Instead of rushing to fill pauses, embrace them as moments to process what you heard. Silence shows respect for the other person's words and gives them room to elaborate. It also allows your own thoughts to settle so that when you speak, your words carry weight. This balance between speaking and silence cultivates meaningful communication. Speaking less requires resisting the urge to dominate conversations or react impulsively. It involves humility and self-control. You recognize that your voice is one among many and that listening is equally valuable. This attitude fosters collaboration and empathy. It reduces conflict because you respond rather than react. When you speak intentionally, your contributions are more constructive and persuasive. Deep listening fosters emotional intelligence. By tuning into others' feelings and experiences, you develop empathy. You begin to understand the motivations and struggles behind their words. This awareness improves your ability to navigate social situations and resolve conflicts. It creates a sense of connection that goes beyond surface-level interaction. Empathy built through listening enriches your relationships and broadens your worldview. Practicing this skill requires effort and discipline. It's easy to fall back into habits of interrupting or planning your next sentence. To overcome this, cultivate mindfulness during conversations. Remind yourself to stay present and focus solely on the speaker. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back without judgment. Over time, this practice becomes natural and enhances your communication effectiveness. Active listening techniques can support this process. These include nodding, maintaining eye contact, and summarizing what you heard. Reflecting the speaker's thoughts back to them shows you are engaged and clarifies understanding. Asking open-ended questions encourages deeper sharing and signals your genuine interest. These small actions create a positive feedback loop that strengthens connection. Speaking less and listening deeply also improve your self-awareness. As you listen more, you become aware of your own biases and assumptions. You notice when you jump to conclusions or interrupt. This awareness allows you to adjust your behavior and communicate more effectively. It also fosters humility and openness to learning. You recognize that every conversation is an opportunity for growth. This approach to communication benefits both personal and professional relationships. In work settings, it builds respect and collaboration. Leaders who listen well inspire trust and loyalty. They make better decisions based on diverse input. In personal life, it deepens intimacy and reduces misunderstandings. Family and friends feel valued and understood, strengthening bonds. Avoid the temptation to multitask during conversations. Dividing your attention sends a message that the speaker is less important. True listening requires undivided focus. Put away devices and minimize distractions. Create an environment where dialogue can flow naturally and meaningfully. This respect enhances the quality of your interactions. The habit of speaking less and listening more also nurtures patience. You learn to tolerate silence and resist the need for immediate response. This patience reduces anxiety and impulsiveness. It allows time for reflection and thoughtful expression. Over time, patience becomes a powerful tool for managing emotions and building deeper connections. When you practice this skill consistently, your relationships transform. People feel safe sharing their true selves with you. Conflicts become opportunities for understanding rather than battles to win. You develop a reputation as a trustworthy and wise communicator. This reputation opens doors and builds influence in all areas of life. Ultimately, speaking less and listening deeply is an act of respect. Respect for others and for yourself. It honors the value of words and the importance of connection. This practice invites a richer, more thoughtful way of engaging with the world. It cultivates peace, clarity, and strength in your interactions. Choosing to listen fully and speak with intention is a key to meaningful relationships and lasting success. Chapter 13. Master your emotions through daily self-reflection. Mastering your emotions is essential for living with clarity and purpose. Emotions are powerful forces that influence your decisions, relationships, and overall well-being. Without awareness and control, they can lead to impulsive actions and unnecessary suffering. Daily self-reflection is a practical tool to understand your emotional landscape. It allows you to observe your feelings without judgment and gain insight into their causes. This practice creates space between impulse and response, empowering you to choose how you act rather than react. Starting each day or ending it with self-reflection helps you track your emotional patterns. You begin to notice what triggers strong reactions and how you usually respond. This awareness is the first step toward mastery. You realize which emotions serve you and which hold you back. Self-reflection guides you to cultivate positive feelings like gratitude and calm while managing stress and anger more effectively. Over time, this builds emotional resilience. Self-reflection is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them deeply. When you sit quietly and examine your feelings, you learn that emotions are signals, not commands. They provide information about your values, needs, and boundaries. Recognizing this helps you respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. You gain control by observing emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This clarity leads to healthier choices and stronger relationships. Consistency in self-reflection strengthens your emotional intelligence. As you regularly check in with yourself, you improve your ability to identify subtle shifts in mood. This sensitivity allows you to intervene early when negative emotions arise. Instead of letting frustration build into anger, you can take steps to calm yourself. This proactive approach reduces stress and prevents conflicts. It enhances your overall mental health. Journaling is an effective method for daily self-reflection. Writing down your feelings clarifies your thoughts and provides a record of your emotional journey. Over time, you can review past entries to see growth and recurring challenges. This process reveals insights that might be missed in fleeting moments. It also encourages honesty with yourself, which is vital for real change. Journaling becomes a mirror reflecting your inner world. Mindfulness meditation complements self-reflection by training your attention to stay present with emotions without judgment. It teaches you to observe sensations, thoughts, and feelings as passing experiences. This skill builds emotional stability by reducing reactivity. With regular practice, you learn to acknowledge difficult emotions and let them pass rather than resist or amplify them. This acceptance fosters peace and mental clarity. Daily self-reflection also helps you uncover unconscious biases and limiting beliefs linked to emotions. Often, emotional reactions are tied to past experiences or ingrained narratives about yourself and others. By reflecting, you expose these hidden influences and challenge their validity. This insight opens the door to changing unhelpful thought patterns. You develop a mindset aligned with your goals and values rather than conditioned fears or doubts. Reflection encourages accountability for your emotional state. Instead of blaming external circumstances or other people, you recognize your role in managing feelings. This ownership is empowering. It shifts you from victimhood to agency. You understand that while you cannot control every situation, you control how you respond emotionally. This mindset is a cornerstone of emotional mastery and personal growth. Self-reflection improves communication by helping you understand and express your emotions clearly. When you know what you feel and why, you can articulate your needs and boundaries calmly. This clarity reduces misunderstandings and builds trust in relationships. It also prevents emotional outbursts that damage connections. Thoughtful communication grounded in self-awareness fosters deeper intimacy and respect. Taking time for self-reflection may feel uncomfortable initially, especially when facing difficult emotions. Avoidance is a natural response, but growth requires courage to face your inner world honestly. Overcoming resistance to reflection builds mental toughness and maturity. The discomfort of self-examination is temporary compared to the long-term benefits of emotional control and peace. Setting aside a specific time daily for self-reflection creates a routine that reinforces the habit, whether 5 minutes in the morning or before bed. Consistency matters more than duration. The goal is to develop a sustainable practice that integrates seamlessly into your life. Use this time to ask yourself questions, such as what emotions you experienced, what triggered them, and how you responded. Consider what you learned and what you might do differently next time. Using prompts can guide your reflection and deepen your insights. Questions like, "What made me feel proud today?" or "How did I handle stress?" focus your attention and encourage specific answers. These prompts prevent vague or surface-level reflections. They push you to explore your emotions thoroughly and thoughtfully. Over time, this discipline sharpens your emotional awareness. Reflection can also include envisioning how you want to feel and behave in future situations. Visualization of emotional mastery helps program your brain for success. Imagine responding calmly in challenging moments or approaching others with compassion. These mental rehearsals prepare you to act with intention when real situations arise. They build confidence and reduce fear of emotional vulnerability. Avoid judgment during self-reflection. Emotions are neither good nor bad. They simply exist. Accepting your feelings without labeling them fosters self-compassion. This kindness toward yourself reduces shame and guilt that often accompany negative emotions. It creates a safe space for growth and healing. Over time, you cultivate an inner environment of support rather than criticism. Tracking your progress encourages motivation. Celebrate moments when you respond to emotions thoughtfully or choose peace over conflict. Acknowledge setbacks without harshness and view them as learning opportunities. This balanced approach sustains your commitment to mastering emotions. It reinforces the idea that emotional growth is a process, not a destination. Mastering emotions through daily self-reflection enhances your ability to stay calm and focused under pressure. This composure improves performance in work and personal life. When emotions are regulated, you think clearly and act deliberately. This clarity increases effectiveness and reduces mistakes caused by impulsivity. Emotional mastery becomes a competitive advantage in any pursuit. This practice deepens your understanding of yourself. You discover hidden strengths and areas for development. You learn what environments and relationships nurture your emotional well-being. This self-knowledge guides your choices and boundaries. It aligns your life with what truly supports your growth and happiness. Incorporating self-reflection into your daily routine is an investment in your mental and emotional health. It builds resilience, reduces stress, and fosters emotional intelligence. This foundation supports every aspect of your personal and professional success. By mastering your emotions, you reclaim control over your life and move forward with confidence and peace. Chapter 14. Face your fears and take bold daily action. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions you will ever face, yet it also holds the key to your greatest growth. Every successful person has confronted fear head-on rather than allowing it to dictate their actions. Fear signals that you are stepping outside your comfort zone into uncharted territory where change happens. Avoiding fear only reinforces its power and limits your potential. The path to success requires courage, the kind that shows up every day through bold, deliberate actions despite uncertainty and discomfort. Facing fear is not about eliminating it, but about learning to move forward in its presence. Courage is the decision to act even when your heart races and doubt tries to hold you back. This daily choice builds inner strength and self-trust. Each time you confront a fear, you prove to yourself that fear is not an insurmountable barrier, but a temporary obstacle. This realization diminishes fear's control over your decisions and frees you to pursue what matters most. Bold action doesn't require grand gestures or sudden leaps. It can be small steps taken consistently. The key is to do something that challenges your comfort zone every day. This might mean speaking up when it's easier to stay silent, reaching out to someone new despite anxiety, or tackling a task that feels daunting. These daily acts of bravery accumulate, creating momentum that propels you forward. Boldness becomes a habit rather than a rare event. Fear thrives in avoidance and silence. The more you delay confronting it, the larger and more intimidating it grows in your mind. Taking immediate action disrupts this cycle. It interrupts the story. Fear tells and replaces it with evidence of your capability. Action shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what you are doing right now. This shift reduces anxiety and builds confidence. Understanding the root of your fears helps reduce their power. Often, fear is tied to imagined outcomes rather than reality. You might fear failure, rejection, or loss, but these fears often exaggerate potential consequences. Examining these thoughts critically allows you to see them as possibilities, not certainties. This perspective creates space for hope and strategy rather than panic. Preparation and planning bolster courage. When you face fears with a clear plan, you increase your chances of success. Preparation does not eliminate fear, but gives you tools to handle challenges. Knowing what steps to take and anticipating obstacles creates confidence. Bold action paired with thoughtful planning balances courage with wisdom. Daily reflection after taking bold steps. reinforces growth. Assess what you did, what you learned, and how you felt. Recognize your bravery and the progress made, no matter how small. This habit builds a positive feedback loop that strengthens your willingness to act. Reflection also highlights areas to improve, making your next actions more effective. Surrounding yourself with supportive people encourages boldness. Sharing your goals and fears with others creates accountability and emotional support. Others can offer perspective, encouragement, and practical advice. Their belief in you boosts your own confidence. When you know you are not alone, fear loses some of its intensity. Fear can also be a teacher. Instead of fighting it, listen to what it reveals about your values and desires. Fear often points to areas of importance where growth is needed. Facing these fears aligns you more closely with your true purpose. Bold action becomes a way to honor your deepest goals, despite discomfort. Building resilience is part of facing fears daily. Not every attempt will lead to immediate success. Some efforts may fail or encounter setbacks. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward despite these challenges. Each failure is an opportunity to learn and adapt. Bold action combined with resilience creates a cycle of continuous improvement. Visualizing success helps reduce fear's grip. Imagine yourself acting confidently and achieving your goals. Visualization prepares your mind for real action by creating a mental blueprint. It reduces anxiety by familiarizing your brain with success scenarios. When fear arises, recall these images to reinforce courage and motivation. Recognize that fear is often linked to your identity and self-worth. You might fear failing because you equate it with personal inadequacy. Decouple your sense of value from external outcomes. Your worth is inherent, not dependent on success or failure. This mindset shift frees you to take risks without fear of judgment or rejection. Bold daily action requires discipline and commitment. Motivation alone is unreliable because it fluctuates. Discipline means doing what is necessary regardless of how you feel. Create routines and habits that support facing fears. Consistency builds muscle memory for courage, making it easier over time. Celebrate every step forward. Acknowledge the courage it takes to act despite fear. These celebrations reinforce positive behavior and increase your resilience. They remind you that progress is possible and that fear can be managed. Gratitude for your own effort nurtures a positive mindset. Avoid letting perfectionism fuel fear. Waiting for the perfect moment or flawless plan is often an excuse to avoid action. Accept that mistakes and imperfections are part of growth. Bold action is about progress, not perfection. Taking imperfect steps daily creates momentum and learning. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded when fear arises. Mindfulness teaches you to observe fear without judgment or reaction. This distance allows you to choose how to respond rather than be driven by impulse. Mindfulness enhances emotional regulation and strengthens your ability to act courageously. Reframe fear as excitement or opportunity. The physical sensations of fear, racing heart, adrenaline, are similar to excitement. When you relabel these feelings positively, your brain responds differently. This simple mental shift reduces paralysis and increases energy to take action. Remember that courage is contagious. When you face your fears openly, you inspire others to do the same. Your boldness creates a ripple effect that uplifts your community. This shared courage builds collective strength and motivates you further. Fear loses power when exposed to action. The longer it hides in the shadows of avoidance, the stronger it seems. Bringing it into the light through daily bold actions dissolves its hold. Each action chips away at fear's foundation until it no longer controls your life. Your future self depends on the choices you make today. Taking bold steps daily builds a foundation of confidence and capability. You become someone who faces challenges with determination rather than hesitation. This identity fuels ongoing success and fulfillment. Ultimately, facing your fears is an act of respect for yourself and your potential. It honors the life you want to create and the person you aspire to be. Bold daily action transforms fear from a barrier into a bridge. Crossing that bridge leads to freedom, growth, and achievement. Chapter 15. Protect your time like it is your greatest asset. Time is the most precious resource you have, because once it passes, it never returns. Every minute is an opportunity to move closer to your goals or drift further from them. Protecting your time is not just about managing schedules, but about valuing your life's potential. Treat your time as your greatest asset by being deliberate in how you spend it. This mindset shift transforms your daily habits and ultimately your results. Recognizing that time is limited creates urgency in your actions. No matter how much money or talent you possess, you cannot buy more time. This truth forces you to prioritize what matters most. Instead of reacting to distractions and demands, you act with intention. Prioritization is key. Focus your energy on tasks and relationships that align with your deepest values and long-term goals. This discipline prevents wasted effort on trivial matters. Boundaries are essential for protecting your time. Saying no is a skill that guards your focus and energy. Each time you agree to something outside your priorities, you sacrifice time for what truly counts. Setting clear limits on your availability and commitments helps maintain balance and reduces overwhelm. Boundaries are not selfish, but necessary to preserve your ability to perform at your best and contribute meaningfully. Eliminating time-wasting activities sharpens your productivity. Identify what steals your attention without adding value. Common culprits include excessive social media, aimless browsing, and unproductive meetings. Being honest about these habits empowers you to take control. Replace these distractions with focused work, rest, or activities that nourish your growth. This intentional swap creates more time for what matters. Planning your day is a powerful tool to protect your time. When you map out your tasks and priorities, you create a roadmap that guides your actions. This clarity reduces indecision and procrastination. Start with your most important tasks and allocate specific time blocks. Guard these blocks fiercely against interruptions. Planning also helps identify potential time leaks so you can address them proactively. Mindfulness in how you spend time increases your awareness of its value. Notice when you feel rushed, scattered, or distracted. These moments signal that your time is not being protected. Pause and realign your focus to your priorities. Regularly check in with yourself throughout the day to ensure your actions reflect your goals. This conscious approach deepens your respect for time. Delegating tasks is a strategic way to safeguard your schedule. You don't have to do everything yourself. Identify responsibilities others can handle effectively and entrust them accordingly. Delegation frees you to concentrate on high-impact activities where your skills and presence make the most difference. It also develops trust and teamwork, multiplying results beyond what you could achieve alone. Saying no also means limiting exposure to unnecessary obligations and toxic relationships. Protecting your time includes protecting your mental and emotional energy. When you spend time with people or in situations that drain you, it reduces your capacity to pursue your goals. Choose interactions that uplift and support you. Respect your limits and remove what hinders your progress. Time protection requires discipline and self-respect. Resist the urge to fill every moment with busy work or distractions. Allow space for rest, reflection, and creativity. These moments recharge your mind and body, increasing your efficiency when you return to work. Treat downtime as a vital part of your schedule rather than wasted time. This balance prevents burnout and sustains long-term performance. Reviewing how you spend your time regularly reveals insights into your habits. Take inventory of your daily and weekly activities to see if they align with your goals. Identify patterns where time is lost or misused. Use this information to adjust your routines and commitments. Continuous refinement ensures that your time investment yields the highest returns. Technology can both help and harm your time management. Use tools that automate tasks, organize schedules, and block distractions. However, be wary of letting technology consume your attention without purpose. Set limits on device use and notifications. Create tech-free zones or times to protect uninterrupted focus. Control your tools rather than being controlled by them. Protecting your time also means protecting your energy. Time spent tired, stressed, or unfocused is less productive. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise to maintain optimal energy levels. When your body and mind are healthy, you accomplish more in less time. Energy management is a crucial aspect of effective time protection. Setting goals with deadlines creates urgency that motivates action. Open-ended tasks encourage procrastination. Deadlines force decisions and prioritization. Use deadlines to structure your time and hold yourself accountable. Break larger goals into smaller, time-bound steps. This approach keeps momentum and prevents overwhelm. Recognize that unexpected demands will arise. Flexibility is necessary, but should not override your core priorities. Develop strategies to handle interruptions efficiently without losing focus. Communicate your time boundaries clearly to others to reduce unnecessary disruptions. Protecting your time includes managing external expectations. Your relationship with time reflects your relationship with yourself. Valuing your time means valuing your life. When you protect your time, you honor your potential and purpose. This commitment transforms how you approach daily tasks and long-term ambitions. You become intentional, focused, and resilient. Ultimately, protecting your time is about making conscious choices every moment. Each decision to focus, delegate, say no, or rest builds a life aligned with your values. Your time is a finite and non-renewable asset. Guard it fiercely and invest it wisely. This practice creates a foundation for meaningful success and fulfillment. Surrounding yourself with supportive people encourages boldness. Sharing your goals and fears with others creates accountability and emotional support. Others can offer perspective, encouragement, and practical advice. Their belief in you boosts your own confidence. When you know you are not alone, fear loses some of its intensity. Fear can also be a teacher. Instead of fighting it, listen to what it reveals about your values and desires. Fear often points to areas of importance where growth is needed. Facing these fears aligns you more closely with your true purpose. Bold action becomes a way to honor your deepest goals despite discomfort. Building resilience is part of facing fears daily. Not every attempt will lead to immediate success. Some efforts may fail or encounter setbacks. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward despite these challenges. Each failure is an opportunity to learn and adapt. Bold action combined with resilience creates a cycle of continuous improvement. Chapter 16. Read daily to sharpen your thoughts and ideas. Reading daily is one of the most effective ways to sharpen your thoughts and expand your ideas. When you make reading a consistent habit, you expose yourself to new perspectives, knowledge, and ways of thinking. This constant intake of information challenges your mind, encourages curiosity, and improves your ability to analyze and synthesize complex concepts. The more you read, the clearer and more innovative your thinking becomes. Starting with a few minutes each day is enough to create momentum. Consistency matters more than quantity. Even short reading sessions add up over time, transforming your mental capacity. By carving out time daily, you prioritize your intellectual growth. This regular engagement with ideas builds discipline and signals to your brain that learning is a priority. Reading improves focus and concentration. In a world full of distractions, sitting quietly with a book demands attention. This practice strengthens your ability to focus deeply on tasks in other areas of life. As your concentration sharpens, your productivity and problem-solving skills improve. Reading trains your mind to hold information longer and connect dots more effectively. Exposure to diverse content broadens your understanding. Reading books, articles, or essays on varied topics stretches your mental boundaries. It introduces you to different cultures, philosophies, sciences, and experiences. This diversity fosters open-mindedness and creativity. When you encounter unfamiliar ideas, you learn to adapt and think flexibly, qualities essential for innovation and growth. The language you read shapes the way you think. Regular reading enhances vocabulary and communication skills. You learn new words, sentence structures, and styles of expression. This expanded language ability allows you to articulate thoughts more precisely and persuasively. Clear communication strengthens relationships and leadership. Reading also sparks critical thinking. Encountering arguments and evidence in texts encourages you to evaluate their validity. You learn to question assumptions, identify biases, and weigh different viewpoints. This analytical skill is crucial for making sound decisions in both personal and professional contexts. Reading challenges you to think deeply rather than accept information at face value. Books often provide practical lessons and timeless wisdom. When you read biographies, self-help, or philosophy, you gain insights from others' experiences. These lessons can guide your actions and mindset. Applying what you learn from reading leads to continuous self-improvement. Knowledge becomes power when translated into action. Daily reading sharpens memory. Following a narrative or understanding complex information requires you to remember details and themes. This mental exercise keeps your brain active and healthy. Improved memory supports learning new skills and retaining important information. It also enhances your confidence in recalling and using knowledge effectively. To maximize benefits, choose reading material that challenges you. While entertainment is valuable, include books that push your understanding. Balance reading for pleasure with reading for growth. Selecting high-quality and relevant content ensures that your time invested yields significant mental gains. Create a comfortable reading environment that minimizes distractions. Find a quiet place and dedicate specific time for reading. This routine signals your mind to focus and absorb information. Avoid multitasking while reading to deepen comprehension. Engaging fully with the text increases retention and enjoyment. Taking notes while reading reinforces learning. Writing down key ideas or questions helps clarify your understanding. Notes serve as a reference for reflection and application later. This active reading strategy transforms passive consumption into meaningful engagement. Discussing what you read with others enhances your grasp of ideas. Sharing perspectives and debating concepts deepen your insights. This exchange stimulates further curiosity and critical thought. Joining book clubs or study groups creates accountability and motivation to read regularly. Reading daily nurtures empathy. Stories about different lives and struggles help you see the world through others' eyes. This emotional connection strengthens your ability to relate and respond with compassion. Empathy enriches your relationships and leadership skills. Set realistic reading goals to maintain consistency. Whether it's a chapter a day or a certain number of pages, clear targets keep you accountable. Adjust goals based on your schedule and energy to avoid burnout. The key is to keep moving forward without pressure. Avoid passively skimming texts. Instead, engage actively by asking questions and reflecting on the content. Challenge yourself to apply new ideas to your life. This intentional approach maximizes the impact of reading on your personal development. Reading also provides mental relaxation and stress relief. Immersing yourself in a book creates a break from daily worries. This mental escape rejuvenates your mind and improves focus when you return to tasks. Balanced reading habits support both mental growth and emotional well-being. Technology offers convenient access to vast reading resources. E-books, audiobooks, and articles are available anytime. Use these tools to integrate reading into your daily routine, such as during commutes or breaks. However, balance screen time with physical books to reduce eye strain and distractions. Reflecting on what you read fosters deeper understanding. Spend time after each reading session to summarize key takeaways and consider their relevance. This practice solidifies learning and sparks new ideas. Reflection connects reading to action and growth. Developing a reading habit sharpens your curiosity. The more you read, the more questions you generate. This natural inquisitiveness drives lifelong learning and innovation. Curiosity keeps your mind active and engaged with the world. Remember that reading is a skill that improves with practice. Early challenges with difficult texts will diminish as you persist. Gradually increase complexity and length to build stamina. Celebrate progress and enjoy the expanding horizons that come with continuous reading. Incorporating daily reading into your life is an investment in your intellectual capital. It enhances your mental agility, creativity, and communication. These qualities empower you to solve problems, connect with others, and lead effectively. Through reading, you sharpen not just your thoughts, but your entire approach to life. By committing to read daily, you cultivate a mindset of growth and excellence. Your ideas become clearer, deeper, and more impactful. This mental sharpening is a foundational key to sustained success and personal fulfillment. Chapter 17. Lead yourself before you try to lead others. Leadership begins with mastering yourself before influencing others. You cannot guide or inspire people effectively if you lack clarity, discipline, and integrity within your own life. Leading yourself means taking full responsibility for your actions, emotions, and decisions. This foundation creates the trust and credibility necessary to lead others authentically. Self-leadership starts with understanding your values and purpose. When you know what drives you deeply, you act with conviction and consistency. This clarity prevents confusion and wavering that can undermine leadership. People naturally follow those who exhibit genuine commitment to clear principles. Without personal alignment, attempts to lead others become hollow and ineffective. Discipline is a core aspect of leading yourself. It means doing what needs to be done, especially when motivation wanes or challenges arise. Self-discipline strengthens your ability to persevere and maintain focus. This reliability sets an example for others to emulate. If you struggle to manage your own habits and commitments, it will be difficult to command respect or inspire action. Emotional regulation is essential in self-leadership. You must master your reactions to stress, criticism, and setbacks. Remaining calm and composed under pressure demonstrates strength and stability. This emotional intelligence enables you to make thoughtful decisions rather than impulsive ones. Leaders who cannot control their emotions risk losing influence and trust. Self-leadership involves continuous self-improvement. Leaders never stop learning and growing. They seek feedback, reflect on mistakes, and strive to develop new skills. This humility and growth mindset create resilience and adaptability. When you model these traits, you encourage others to pursue excellence as well. Clear goal setting for yourself drives progress and accountability. Define what success means personally and establish measurable objectives. Track your progress regularly and adjust plans as needed. Leading yourself requires proactive planning rather than drifting aimlessly. This intentionality fuels momentum and demonstrates commitment. Self-awareness is critical to leading yourself. Knowing your strengths, weaknesses, and triggers allows you to manage your behavior effectively. It also helps you delegate tasks to others better suited for them, maximizing collective performance. Honest self-assessment is a sign of maturity and wisdom that earns respect. Integrity is the cornerstone of self-leadership. Acting consistently with your values, even when no one is watching, builds internal trust. This integrity becomes the moral compass guiding your leadership decisions. Without it, leadership becomes manipulative or inconsistent, eroding credibility quickly. Time management reflects your leadership of self. Prioritizing tasks, avoiding distractions, and protecting your focus demonstrate control over your day. Efficient use of time maximizes your impact and models responsible behavior. Leaders who waste their time undermine their authority and effectiveness. Taking ownership of mistakes and failures distinguishes self-leaders. Instead of blaming others or circumstances, they accept responsibility and seek solutions. This accountability fosters a culture of trust and growth. It also builds your own confidence and resilience through honest evaluation. Self-leadership requires courage to make difficult decisions and face uncertainty. Avoiding discomfort or tough choices weakens your influence. Boldness in action inspires confidence in others. When you lead yourself courageously, you set a powerful example for your team. Building habits that align with your goals supports consistent self-leadership. Habits reduce reliance on willpower and create automatic success behaviors. Establishing routines around health, learning, and productivity sustains high performance. These daily practices demonstrate commitment and discipline. Self-leadership means setting boundaries to protect your energy and focus. Saying no to distractions and unnecessary commitments ensures you remain aligned with your priorities. Clear boundaries improve your ability to lead effectively and reduce burnout. Reflective practices enhance your self-leadership. Regularly assessing your mindset, actions, and progress promotes awareness and adjustment. This intentional review prevents stagnation and encourages continuous growth. Reflection also increases emotional intelligence and decision-making quality. Leading yourself involves building resilience to setbacks and criticism. Developing mental toughness allows you to persevere despite challenges. Resilient self-leaders bounce back quickly and maintain optimism. This attitude inspires others to remain steadfast. Effective communication with yourself is vital. The inner dialogue you maintain influences your confidence and motivation. Cultivating positive and realistic self-talk supports your leadership capacity. Negative or doubtful thoughts weaken your resolve and performance. Self-leadership includes managing your physical health as a foundation for mental and emotional strength. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient rest enhance energy and focus. A healthy body supports clear thinking and sustained effort. Seeking mentors and role models aids your self-leadership development. Learning from others' experiences accelerates growth and provides valuable perspective. Mentorship fosters accountability and offers guidance through complex challenges. Leading yourself requires vision. Having a clear picture of your desired future motivates daily actions and decisions. Vision aligns your efforts and communicates purpose to others. Without vision, leadership becomes reactive and directionless. Self-leadership fosters independence and initiative. Taking proactive steps without waiting for external direction demonstrates confidence. This autonomy increases your value and influence as a leader. By mastering yourself, you build the foundation necessary to lead others effectively. Your integrity, discipline, and clarity inspire trust and followership. People respond to authentic leaders who embody the qualities they seek to develop. Leading yourself first is the essential key to lasting influence and success. Chapter 18. Challenge your excuses and take full responsibility. Excuses are the most common barriers standing between you and your true potential. They often sound reasonable and justify inaction or failure, but in reality, excuses rob you of control and progress. Challenging your excuses requires honest self-examination and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. When you stop blaming external circumstances, people, or your own limitations, you reclaim the power to change your life. Taking full responsibility means owning every outcome in your life, whether success or failure. This mindset shift is foundational for growth because it places you in the driver's seat. Excuses create illusions of helplessness, but responsibility empowers you to act decisively. When you accept responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become an agent of change. Excuses often originate from fear of failure, rejection, or discomfort. Identifying the fears behind your excuses helps you understand and confront them directly. Rather than avoiding challenges, acknowledge your fears and move forward despite them. Courage grows when you repeatedly choose action over avoidance. Excuses also arise from limiting beliefs about yourself. These beliefs tell you that you are not capable, deserving, or ready for success. Challenging these internal narratives requires reframing your thoughts. Replace self-doubt with affirmations of your ability and worth. This mental reprogramming opens doors to new possibilities. One powerful way to challenge excuses is to question their validity. Ask yourself if the reasons you give for not acting are facts or just opinions. Often excuses are based on assumptions rather than reality. Gathering evidence can reveal that you have more options and resources than you thought. Breaking the habit of making excuses involves accountability. Share your goals and commitments with trusted individuals who will hold you responsible. Knowing others expect you to follow through reduces the temptation to justify inaction. Accountability partners provide encouragement and honest feedback. Taking responsibility means learning from mistakes instead of denying or hiding them. Every failure holds valuable lessons if you are willing to look honestly. Reflect on what went wrong and what you can do differently next time. This approach turns setbacks into stepping stones for success. Excuses consume time and mental energy that could be spent on productive actions. When you let excuses dominate, you drain motivation and momentum. Interrupt this cycle by consciously redirecting your thoughts towards solutions and actions. This shift conserves energy and increases focus. Create a habit of immediate action to combat excuses. When a task feels difficult or intimidating, do something small right away. Taking even a tiny step breaks inertia and builds confidence. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to respond with action rather than hesitation. Focus on what you can control instead of what is outside your influence. Excuses often arise from focusing on external factors beyond your power. Direct your attention to your own choices, efforts, and mindset. This control mindset fosters empowerment and reduces frustration. Developing a growth mindset supports responsibility. View challenges as opportunities to learn rather than threats to your ego. This perspective reduces the need for excuses because setbacks are part of the journey. Embrace struggle as a necessary process for mastery and success. Excuses often protect your comfort zone, but real progress requires discomfort. Accept that growth is uncomfortable and commit to pushing beyond ease. Reframe discomfort as a sign of progress rather than a warning to retreat. This acceptance dissolves excuses rooted in fear of pain. Visualize the consequences of continuing to make excuses. Imagine how your life will look if you keep avoiding responsibility. Contrast this with the vision of success that comes from accountability and action. This mental contrast motivates you to choose responsibility over excuses. Set clear and realistic goals with deadlines. Vague intentions invite excuses because they lack urgency. Specific targets create pressure to perform and reduce space for justification. Break goals into actionable steps that build momentum and confidence. Monitor your self-talk and challenge excuse-based language. Notice phrases like, "I can't," "I'm too tired," or "it's not fair." Replace them with empowering statements focused on possibility and effort. Language shapes belief, and belief drives action. Learn to embrace discomfort without complaint. Accept that challenges and obstacles are inevitable. When you stop resisting difficulty, excuses lose their grip. This mindset strengthens resilience and encourages consistent responsibility. Recognize that excuses isolate you from support and growth. When you own your actions, you open yourself to learning and collaboration. This openness expands opportunities and connections. Responsibility builds bridges, while excuses create walls. Practice gratitude for your ability to choose your response. Even in difficult situations, you have the power to decide your attitude and actions. Gratitude shifts focus from limitations to possibilities, reducing excuses. Evaluate your environment and remove triggers that encourage excuses. Negative influences, distractions, or toxic relationships can feed a mindset of avoidance. Surround yourself with people and conditions that support responsibility and growth. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge moments when you resisted excuses and took charge. Positive reinforcement strengthens your commitment to responsibility. Over time, this practice builds a resilient and proactive identity. Accept that change is a process requiring patience and persistence. You will face setbacks and moments of weakness. Instead of giving in to excuses, recommit to responsibility each day. This consistent effort creates lasting transformation. Challenge your excuses daily by asking, "What can I do right now to move forward?" This question shifts focus from barriers to solutions. It encourages problem solving and action over avoidance. Remember that your future depends on the choices you make today. Excuses delay growth and success. Taking full responsibility accelerates progress and personal fulfillment. Owning your life fully is the ultimate expression of freedom. When you stop making excuses, you reclaim your power and open the door to limitless possibilities. Responsibility is the key that unlocks your true potential. Chapter 19. Invest time in habits that build real strength. Building real strength requires consistent investment in habits that develop your mind, body, and spirit over time. Strength is not built overnight, but through deliberate, repeated actions that challenge and improve your capacity. This process demands patience, focus, and commitment. By prioritizing habits that foster genuine strength, you lay a foundation for resilience, confidence, and long-term success. Real strength begins with cultivating physical health. Daily movement, whether through exercise, stretching, or simple activity, strengthens your body and increases energy. Physical fitness supports mental clarity and emotional stability. When your body is strong, you can face challenges with greater endurance and vitality. This habit creates a positive cycle of well-being that impacts every area of life. Mental strength grows through habits that challenge your thinking and expand your knowledge. Reading, learning new skills, and solving problems stimulate your brain and improve cognitive abilities. Consistent mental exercise builds focus, creativity, and resilience to stress. Strengthening your mind equips you to handle complexity and make wise decisions. Emotional strength develops when you practice self-awareness and regulation regularly. Habits like journaling, meditation, or mindful breathing deepen your understanding of emotions. This awareness allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Emotional resilience grows as you accept discomfort and learn from setbacks. Strong emotions do not control you. You control them. Discipline is a cornerstone habit for building strength. Setting routines and following through even when motivation is low creates reliability and momentum. Discipline trains your willpower and self-control. Over time, these habits become automatic, freeing mental energy for higher-level challenges. This steady foundation enables consistent progress. Investing time in goal setting and planning sharpens your focus and direction. Clear goals guide your habits and measure your progress. Habitual review and adjustment keep you aligned with your purpose. This intentional approach transforms vague effort into effective action that builds strength. Healthy habits related to nutrition and rest are vital for sustained strength. Eating nourishing foods and getting enough sleep repair and energize your body and mind. Poor nutrition and fatigue undermine all other efforts. Prioritizing these basics creates the conditions for growth and performance. Building strength includes nurturing supportive relationships. Positive connections provide encouragement, accountability, and perspective. Habits of open communication and empathy strengthen bonds and social support. This community resilience enhances your capacity to face challenges. Habits that push you out of your comfort zone develop adaptability and courage. Regularly taking on new challenges or risks trains your brain to tolerate uncertainty and stress. This exposure builds confidence and broadens your experience. Growth requires discomfort, and strong habits embrace that reality. Mindset habits play a crucial role in strength building. Practicing gratitude, positive self-talk, and visualization reinforce optimism and belief in your abilities. These mental habits influence motivation and persistence. A strong mindset supports action, even when external circumstances are difficult. Consistency in your habits is more important than intensity. Small, daily efforts compound over time to produce remarkable strength. Avoid the trap of occasional bursts followed by inactivity. Sustainable strength comes from steady investment, not sporadic effort. Tracking your habits and progress creates awareness and motivation. Using journals, apps, or checklists helps you stay accountable and identify patterns. Reflecting on your growth reinforces commitment and highlights areas for improvement. Learning from setbacks is part of habit development. Instead of giving up after failure, analyze what went wrong and adjust your approach. This resilience habit transforms obstacles into opportunities for deeper strength. Simplify your habits by focusing on a few key areas that matter most. Trying to change everything at once leads to overwhelm and burnout. Prioritize habits that align with your core goals and values for maximum impact. Celebrate milestones and improvements to reinforce your habits. Acknowledging progress boosts morale and encourages continued effort. Positive reinforcement is a powerful habit builder. Limit habits that drain your strength, such as excessive screen time, poor diet, or negative thinking. Recognizing and reducing these behaviors protects your energy and focus. This awareness habit supports overall growth. Investing time in habits that build real strength is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It signals your commitment to living fully and overcoming challenges. These habits create a foundation that supports every goal and dream. Strength-building habits create momentum that carries you through difficult times. When life becomes hard, these routines provide stability and confidence. This reliability fuels perseverance and success. Choose habits that align with your natural rhythms and preferences. Customizing your routine increases enjoyment and sustainability. Flexibility within structure supports long-term adherence. Incorporate habits that foster creativity and play. Engaging in enjoyable activities rejuvenates your mind and prevents burnout. Balance between work and relaxation enhances overall strength. Remember that strength is holistic, encompassing body, mind, and spirit. Ignoring one area weakens the whole. Invest in habits that nurture each dimension for balanced power. Commit to lifelong habit development. Strength is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. Continuous refinement and growth keep you adaptable and capable. Building real strength through daily habits transforms not only what you can do, but who you are. It creates a resilient, confident, and empowered version of yourself, ready to face any challenge. This investment is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Chapter 20. Review your day and plan for the next one. Taking time at the end of each day to review what happened and prepare for the next day is one of the most powerful habits for consistent growth and success. This practice allows you to gain clarity, learn from your experiences, and make intentional choices moving forward. Without reflection and planning, days can pass in a blur of unproductive busyness, leaving you feeling stuck and overwhelmed. Committing to this routine sharpens your focus and enhances your ability to manage time effectively. The first step in reviewing your day is to pause and look honestly at what you accomplished. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, as these moments fuel motivation and confidence. Recognizing progress builds momentum and reinforces positive habits. Acknowledging success reminds you that your efforts are not wasted and that you are moving closer to your goals. Equally important is identifying what didn't go well and why. Honest reflection on mistakes, distractions, or unmet goals is essential for growth. Instead of blaming external factors or making excuses, approach these moments with curiosity and a problem-solving mindset. Ask yourself what you can learn and how you can improve tomorrow. This willingness to face challenges head-on strengthens resilience and adaptability. Consider how your energy levels fluctuated throughout the day. Notice when you felt most productive and when fatigue or distractions took over. Understanding your natural rhythms helps you plan future tasks in alignment with your peak performance times. For example, scheduling demanding work during your highest energy periods maximizes efficiency. Review your time management and task completion. Were your priorities clear and realistic? Did you get caught in low-value activities or distractions? Analyze how well you protected your focus and where you can tighten your boundaries. This insight allows you to refine your schedule and remove time wasters. Reflect on your mindset and emotional state during the day. Were you focused, optimistic, or overwhelmed? Did you manage stress and setbacks effectively? Self-awareness about your emotions informs adjustments to habits or coping strategies. Maintaining a positive, resilient mindset is crucial for sustained success. Reviewing your day also means checking on your personal and professional relationships. Did you communicate effectively? Were you present and supportive? Strong connections contribute significantly to your overall well-being and productivity. Identify ways to nurture these relationships moving forward. After reflecting on the day, shift focus to planning for tomorrow. Begin by listing your top priorities and goals. Clear intentions guide your energy and decisions, preventing aimless activity. Break larger goals into actionable steps to create a manageable to-do list. This preparation reduces anxiety and provides a roadmap for the day ahead. Schedule your tasks based on urgency and importance. Use time blocking or similar methods to allocate specific periods for focused work. Include breaks and downtime to maintain energy and prevent burnout. Thoughtful planning balances productivity with sustainability. Consider potential obstacles or challenges you might face tomorrow. Anticipating difficulties allows you to prepare solutions or adjust plans proactively. This foresight reduces stress and keeps you flexible when surprises arise. Set reminders for habits that support your well-being, such as hydration, exercise, or mindfulness. Integrating these practices into your plan ensures holistic health and sustained performance. Small daily habits contribute to big results over time. Reviewing and planning can be enhanced by journaling or using a planner. Writing down reflections and plans clarifies thoughts and creates accountability. This physical record also allows you to track progress over time and celebrate growth. Limit distractions during your review and planning time. Create a quiet, focused environment to think deeply and honestly. This dedicated space encourages meaningful reflection rather than rushed or superficial thoughts. Use positive language when reviewing and planning. Frame challenges as opportunities and focus on solutions rather than problems. This mindset fuels motivation and confidence in your ability to improve. Incorporate gratitude into your review. Reflect on what went well and what you appreciate. Gratitude shifts focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, fostering contentment and resilience. Make reviewing and planning a daily ritual, ideally at the same time each evening. Consistency builds habit strength and signals to your brain the importance of this practice. Over time, it becomes a natural part of your routine. Avoid over-planning or perfectionism. Your plan should be realistic and flexible, not overwhelming or rigid. Allow room for adjustment and unexpected events. The goal is to create direction, not stress. Use your review to track alignment with your larger vision and values. Are your daily actions moving you toward your long-term goals? If not, consider what changes are needed. This connection between daily tasks and big-picture purpose maintains motivation. Discussing your daily review and plans with a trusted mentor or accountability partner can enhance clarity and commitment. External feedback provides perspective and encouragement. Recognize that some days will not go as planned, and that's normal. Use your review to understand what happened and plan a fresh start tomorrow. Avoid self-judgment and focus on continuous improvement. Reflect on the lessons learned from each day. Every experience, good or bad, offers insight. Applying these lessons creates wisdom that guides smarter decisions. Reviewing and planning your day creates control over your time and life. This habit reduces stress, increases productivity, and builds confidence. You become intentional rather than reactive. This daily practice sharpens your self-discipline and focus. It trains your mind to prioritize what matters most and to let go of distractions. Over time, this clarity enhances decision-making and effectiveness. By consistently reviewing your day and planning the next, you create a cycle of improvement. Each day builds on the last, creating momentum toward your goals. This process turns small daily actions into significant lifelong achievements. Investing time in reflection and planning demonstrates respect for yourself and your time. It acknowledges that your growth and success depend on conscious effort. This commitment is a hallmark of successful people. Your ability to review and plan well sets the tone for your future. It empowers you to navigate challenges with grace and confidence. This habit is a key tool in mastering your life and unlocking your full potential.